Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mehek. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always, I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week that I finished. What if I told you that there's a book that can actually show you what your life, what your days, or what your world would look like in the next 15 years? Not in a scary, the robots are going to take over way, but in this could actually happen way. The book that I'm talking about is AI 2041. It's by, I'm going to stick to their first name, Kai and Chen. This book actually talks about or shares 10 visions for our future. Now, before I talk about that, how AI is going to change our world and what this book actually covers, I want to talk about why this book is brilliant. The first thing is that the collaboration, it's like two brilliant minds coming together. Kai is our tech expert. So he was someone who worked in Google China. He has seen the technology develop. He's seen the entire journey of AI. He's also someone who's written AI superpowers. So he knows what's happening. In fact, in the book, he also claims that these all things or whatever he shares, the vision has 80% chance of coming true. So it's not something a sci-fi distant future. It's exactly going to happen in 15 years. The next, Shen, who is our sci-fi author, he's an expert who is famous for writing sci-fi books that feels quite real. So I feel that this collaboration works well. We know a guy who is tech expert, and then we have someone who is great at telling stories. So I think the collaboration works just perfectly. Now let's talk about what this book covers. So first of all, I think the format is brilliant. The book has 10 fictional stories, but each of these stories covers different topics or different areas, which I'll talk about. So we have Kai who comes in and talks about some of these technologies, gives us a brief like a para about it, and then we have the fictional stories which shows that technology in play, and then immediately after the story we have Kai coming in again and explaining in very simple and detailed terminology how these technology work exactly. Now these stories are set up in different parts of the world. You have a story in Mumbai, in Seoul, in Munich, in San Francisco, so it's all over the world. So you get to see that how AI or technology is affecting the different aspects of life of people all over the world. Now, the book covers various topics, like I said. So, there is something on deep learning, there's something on quantum computing, virtual reality, self driven cars. We have AI in healthcare, AI companions, and there is something on job displacement, and so much more. So, these are some of the topics that the author has covered in the book. Another cool aspect of the book is that it doesn't sound exaggerated. The authors are not saying that AI is going to destroy everything or solve all your problems. They share the good, the bad, and the complicated part of AI. Now, as always, I have there are 10 stories, but I have some of my highlights from some of my favorite stories here with me, which I'm going to quickly talk about. The first story that I liked is actually the first one, which is the Golden Elephant, which talks about an insurance company that uses deep learning to control every aspect of your life. So what you eat, how are you exercising, where you go, basically everything that helps you to bring your insurance premium down. Sounds helpful, but it also means that AI is going to control every aspect of your life. You're going to be sharing a whole lot of information, and it made me wonder that how much are we let go of our privacy for convenience. The second story was, I think, has to be my favorite. It was the Twin Sparrows. It is set in Seoul. It's about these two orphan brothers who have virtual AI as their teachers. So it talks about the effect or impact of AI in the education industry. So we have AI virtual teachers who customizes entirely the learning journey for these two kids. The learning lessons and how quickly they're going to adjust to or grasp based on everything what the AI has designed for them. It creates lessons in real time. It it works fine, it's beautiful, but in some ways I think it made me wonder that what role human teachers will play and what happens when kids really form deeper bonds with these AI companions or AI teachers. The next story that I again enjoyed was Contactless Love, which shows a scenario during the pandemic where AI is managing the entire healthcare, and the robots do everything, and human contact is not required. I think this works very well for when we are in a pandemic situation. So that one was quite helpful. The last one which I want to talk about is a Star Trek Vision inspired story, which shows that, and it was one of the most helpful one, which shows that, which talks about a post-scarcity society where, AI has solved the resources problem. All of us have plenty and nobody has to work for survival. It made me wonder that of a possibility that what if we actually use AI and technology to imagine a world like this where people are not fighting for basic survival. I think that's why this was the most hopeful story. What I love about the book, like I said, is the format. It's easy fictional stories. You have characters that you care about, and then the author explains you the technology behind these stories or scenarios in a very simple manner. So you do not need to be a person who knows about technology or some difficult jargons or need to have a tech degree. I think anyone and everyone who's enthusiastic or wants to know about how AI is going to play out in the future, I think this book just works fine and is wonderful. It doesn't tell you that AI is going to take over or AI is going. I mean, it's no like very extreme opinions that the author has shared. Like I said, it's both the good, bad, and the complicated. It's like both the author takes us on an immersive future journey and then kind of zooms out from the scenarios and explains you how the technology is at play. And come to think of it, most of it is already happening. Deep learning, we know it's really happening. Self-driven cars already there in China. AI in education also happening to some extent, and it has already started. AI in insurance already happening. So I feel it's not like the future is going to happen, it's already arriving. Now, to be fair, also that the book isn't perfect. Some of the stories are really gripping and you really enjoy them, whereas some of them really fall flat. There are also arguments, or critics also say that Kai has investments in all the AI companies. So is he trying to sell us the future or what? The book also does not, I mean, it touches on the surface level, but does not explore or critically analyze the dark aspects of AI, like the job loss, the surveillance issues, and inequality. So, what are some of the major takeovers? I have some of the ones that I'm taking away. The first one is that AI is not something that's happening, or these visions are not something that is happening in the distant future. It is already arriving. The second is that we need to think of AI as a tool. One, like as humans, we are in charge of shaping it to the way we want. We can either create abundance through it or create a world that is highly unequal. The third one is that the biggest changes won't be dramatic like robots taking over. It is going to be in everyday things, how we work, how we live, how we love, and how we learn. The fourth one is that every technology has a trade-off in this case as well. So you have convenience versus privacy that we saw in the insurance example, efficiency versus human connection, and safety versus freedom. So there's always this choice that you have. And the last one is that the future isn't set. There are possibilities, not certainties. We still get to choose what world we want to live in or what future we want for ourselves and for a future generation. This book is for you if you're curious about AI and you want to know that how it's going to change our everyday life in the near future. You are someone who enjoys science fiction that feels realistic. This book is not for you if you're already a pro, understand the technology, and are looking for some of the critical analysis about some of the darker aspects of AI, which the author has not, of course, covered it in detail. Honestly, I would give this book 4 out of 5 stars. I think it is accessible, entertaining, very easy to understand. You don't need a computer science degree to make sense of the technology that he's talking about. Are the stories perfect? No. Are they highly optimistic? Maybe. But it made me think of the technology that I'm now using every day and what the future world would look like, where the kids would live in, and how this technology is going to come into play in their life. So it made me think about that. So I would highly recommend this book. So yes, that's all on this wonderful futuristic book. I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know in the comments if you have read the book, which of the visions that you really enjoyed or are looking forward to. I'm going to see you guys next week with another book, or actually in 2041. Just kidding. Till then, take care. Bye bye. And keep